Ed. Ed is a movie with Matt LeBlanc. Back when people, I think, actually liked him, where he is a baseball player who has like a great pitching arm but has never played baseball formally, who's recruited by a small league baseball team. And when he finally gets this big shot, I mean, this alone sounds like the plot to a movie to itself. He kind of blows it and is a complete flop once he gets on the team, but they keep him around anyway. And I could actually see an entire comedy movie about a Matt LeBlanc character who's just a likable nobody who walks onto a baseball team and struggles with, living in a city and sort of adapting to his teammates and, eventually becomes a good player. That's not what this movie is, though. That could have been a bad movie. I mean, that probably would have been a bad movie, but it would have been a movie. This, instead, has this lovely angle that a lot of movies have done where they introduce animal that plays sports. And in this movie, it's a chimpanzee, but it's not a chimpanzee. This has like a weird chimpanzee suit. It's obviously not a real chimpanzee. It looks like they spent way too much money on it because even though it looks like it's highly detailed, it doesn't look real at all. And there's constant dumb jokes about having, somebody's got to be the roommate with the chimpanzee. And of course, the chimpanzee apparently belonged to Mickey Mantle, so therefore knows how to play baseball. Mickey Mantle, for all the things that he did, bothered to train a chimpanzee how to play baseball. One of his greatest accomplishments, right? Yeah. No. So you have to suffer through this stupid movie with a bunch of stupid jokes about, about monkeys and chimpanzees. And that's pretty much it. He plays baseball. And then there's sort of a weird E.T. ripoff in which the owner of the team who bought the chimpanzee then sells him, which doesn't make any sense because they're about to win like a championship. They're about to win a pennant. And I guess the demand is high, so he sells them instead of raising the profitability of his team. Like, they actually make the chimpanzee the core of their marketing. So why would you sell it? I mean, that's your cash cow for your entire baseball franchise. So anyway, apart from the owner of the team being a financial idiot, yeah, so like, people come and steal the chimpanzee away, and there's this, dramatic moment where you have to go find him and rescue him. It's very E.T. and very unnecessary in the movie. There's a stupid subplot of romance, and, everything else. It's just, really the reason this movie's bad is because of the bad effects. There's plenty of bad acting and bad writing to go along with it, but it's really the chimpanzee practical effect suit thing. It's just horrid. The whole movie's boring to sit through and stupid. Maybe not any more so than any of the Air Buddies movies or any of those, or any of the countless other animal play sports movies, but it's probably sets itself apart with the fact they didn't actually use an animal of any kind. They used a stupid effect. I'd be shocked if they actually used an actual chimpanzee at any point in this movie. Not that, it would be a good thing to use a chimpanzee. It would have been a good thing to not make this movie. It would have been a good thing to do something else with this time and money. So I'm not actually recommending that this should have used a chimpanzee. I'm recommending this movie shouldn't have gotten made. I would rather them have stolen all the money and escaped to another country. Yeah, it's bad. I didn't like it. Don't watch it.
At practice, I was an ace. I couldn't miss. But in the game...
Tell me you ain't gonna throw the curve, Tip. You ain't gonna throw the curve, Tip.
Things were going from bad to worse.
A little word to the wise. You choke, you croak.
Until someone came along...
I'm supposed to pick up a ball player.
...to lend me a hand.
Meet Ed Sullivan.
Welcome aboard, dude!
He can catch. He can throw.
Cool.
He can swing.
Ed, get down.
Suppose you drive, too.
And now he's turning Jack's luck around. On the field. And off.
He's a great friend. You're lucky, Jack.
Tell me about it.
Where are they taking Ed? You traded him?
Sold him.
He's a ball player.
All players get traded.
I'm gonna bring him home.
Bye-bye!
From Universal Pictures
He's not putting that monkey in his game.
comes the story of two ball players who shared one dream. And one very small apartment.
Oh, not my bathroom. Don't you do it.
Friends Matt LeBlanc,
Bad monkey.
Ed,
Surprisingly, that is actually the best ranked movie out of all the ones I've talked about. In the bottom 100, it's in the high 80s, meaning that it actually could theoretically fall off this list with just a few votes for some other movies, which shocks me because it's one of the worst that I've watched so far. The worst movie I've actually watched so far of all those is, as I mentioned, Starfighters just isn't a movie really. It's the worst, but the one that made me angriest is Pledge This so far. And that had the worst writing and the worst, just stupid. But yeah, Starfighters was definitely the most unwatchable and the most boring. Yeah, that's got to go at the top of this list so far, even if you consider it being worthy of a list like this. Yeah, that's, Super Babies was super bad, but yeah, Starfighters was just unwatchable, horrible.